Today, well, this week is going to be a very momentous week. Sorry, I had to get some screenshots for what I'm about to talk about. Diablo 4 is actually going to release. This is kind of crazy to me because last game, Diablo 3, I think was released like 6 years ago now, 7 years ago now. You don't know Diablo. I don't know how you haven't heard of it. I feel like there's been a lot of talks about it recently everywhere. Also, as you can see, we're still doing silver because we have way too many silver, like ores. We have a ton of silver ores. We might as well do it for a thing. But Diablo 4 is going to release very, very soon. I actually think in like, oh god, I think it's in like 10 hours actually. This is probably the most anticipated game for a lot of people that I know. And it's interesting to me how the opinion has sort of like changed considering all the things that Blizzard has done and still does do. Mind you, this is the same company that for a while was like known for just harassing people and like, you know, a lot of sexual harassment cases. And like a lot of this stuff wasn't very good for a long time. Cash grabs. And even just recently, actually. Overwatch 2 announced that they completely canceled the PvE mode. Which, that was interesting. Now, I was gonna, I'm still gonna play it when it releases, but I find it crazy to me. This is the craziest thing, okay? I just want you all to look at this, okay? The game isn't out yet. It releases tonight, but only if you purchase the Ultimate Edition, which lets you play early. Look at the price on that thing. It's $130. $130. Do you have any idea how expensive that is? And I understand that that's Canadian prices, right? But that's not like... It's not much different from the American prices. And even after taxes, it's like you're still looking at like roughly 150, 140 for whether you're USD or Canadian prices, right? That's insanity to me. There's a strange thing that companies tend to do, and I don't know why they do it, and I don't know why people buy into it. You're not getting more content out of playing early. And so it's strange to me that people will spend the extra, $40, $30 to play 4 days early. 4 days is roughly 24. What's 24 times 4? I can't do the math off my head. It's way too early. It's 96 hours, right? Of which you're spending, 8 times 4. 32 of those sleeping, so 96. And you roughly have 64 total hours to play. But if you're a normal person who like works, you really only have 32 hours of like bonus playtime. And that's if you go straight home from work. You don't shower, you don't eat, you just play, sleep, go to work, go home, shower, play, sleep, go home. Which I feel like most Diablo players will probably do. I mean, that was me back in high school, right? That was me back in high school playing Diablo 3. I'd be like, wow, this is fun. And I would literally just like skip classes so I play it. But to pay $30 for what is effectively 32 hours of gameplay seems insane to me because you're not getting much more out of it. You're not getting anything more out of it. The lifetime of the game is basically like, let's say the game is worth only 100 hours of gameplay to you as like an individual player. Let's say it takes you, well, it's not gonna take you 100 hours to beat the campaign. It's maybe gonna take you like 50 hours, right? If you're a campaign casual player and you play 4 days early, it doesn't magically make your game like 4 times or like 4 days longer in terms of length. You're just kind of front loading all of that gameplay that you would have done earlier, and so you're paying for $30 for 32 hours of gameplay, which you may not even get like much out of realistically. Because again, the whole game is changing a lot pre-season. Season 1 comes in July. You don't get much of anything. Nothing much really changes. Nothing much really stays the same. And everything that you know will probably go down the gutter the moment that the full game releases, because that's when they can start to do the battle pass stuff and the microtransactions and stuff like that. So it's fascinating to me that people will still pay $30, $40 to play this game early. I have a friend who like does it, and I'm like, dude, like, why did you pay $30 to play this early? It's, for some games, I can see it being kind of worth it. If it's like, how do I say this? if it comes with a lot of bonus content of like, oh, you get a whole like custom campaign or something, like it's like a whole DLC or something, right? Then I kind of get it, you know. But I can only recall vaguely one game that's ever done that, and never again. I've never been able to see another game doing that ever again. So see people going like, yeah, we you know, spending this much money to play a bit early. Again, the money itself isn't necessarily the problem. I know for sure someone in the chat or in the comment is gonna be like, pure copium. You can't afford it. And it's like, no, dude, I can definitely afford this. But like, is it really worth it to give the money to Blizzard and then, you know, basically reinforce this behavior and then be like, yeah, just like keep on doing this? I don't think so. For like barely any content, I really don't think so. If I even look inside what they give, I think. Let me see actually what's inside the thing. All you really get, okay, this is what you get from the Ultimate Edition. You get everything in the standard edition, plus a Winged Darkness cosmetic set, which, to be fair, oh wait, no, that's already part of the base game. Okay, well, if you just pre-order. To be fair, the cosmetics in this game are ludicrous. The prices are like 20 bucks apparently, or going to be. You get the Temptation mount, which is 20 bucks. You get the Hellborn Carapace mount armor. You get the premium. Oh, you don't even. Wait, what? Oh, you get the accelerated seasonal battle pass unlock and 20 tier skips and cosmetics, and you get the Wings of the Creator emotes. Wow, that's a lot of non-gameplay content. Again, this is different. This is very different from early access, which is kind of a bad term, or like a bad naming scheme that Valve made for their system. So Steam has this thing called early access. It's the worst naming system because it's kind of weird. You're not getting early access. It's more like a greenlight system, which was the old name. The old name was Greenlight, and Greenlight was a much better name. This is not the same as that, right? This Diablo 4 pre-order sort of like you get to play early is actually early access, but it doesn't give you anything else extra except for cosmetics, which add nothing to the game. A Greenlight model is very different in that, you know, if you don't buy the game because you don't like it, they probably won't be able to make the game because they won't have enough money. This is just you pay for the privilege of playing on beta dev servers 4 days early. And I'm very confused as to why they think this will work, but at the same time, I know people who have bought it, and so I'm like, why would you do this to yourself, you know? And it's strange. It's a strange thing to worry about because it's like, if you have the money to spend, why not just spend it, right? Like, people spend money on like way worse stuff, like really, really dumb stuff. But you're paying effectively 40% of the game's total price for 4 days extra gameplay. If you imagine that you're going to play the game for at least 100 days, so at least three months until Season 1, right? Do you imagine that you're going to play all the way till Season 1, right? You're paying effectively 40% of the price for less than a percentage of the entire... No, for 4% of the entire total gameplay, you know, that you're going to have. The total game time that you're going to have with this game. That seems absurd to me. So, I implore everybody, do not. just wait till the 6th. I guarantee you too that it's I know Blizzard says like, oh, it's not gonna happen, but like, if you've never been on like a Blizzard launch day thing, it never goes as planned. World of Warcraft went down for like 8 hours, 9 hours or something. Diablo 3 was unplayable. Like, it was literally unplayable. Me and my friends had to like stay up till like 2 a.m. our time, Eastern, by the way, to play, to avoid the whole crowd of people who were playing after school and stuff. We just skipped school the next day to play. Anyways, I just wanted to talk about it because I found it insane to me. Yeah, like I still do want to play it, but I'm gonna wait till. Again, this is nice though, because all the people who have to play it effectively to make the money off of it, like the reviewers and stuff or the Diablo streamers, they're gonna play it and they're gonna tell you how endgame is. Which, by the way, the open beta, if you didn't play it, like it was literally an open free for all beta. We saw the endgame. We saw exactly what the endgame was like. It's basically just Diablo 3. So if you didn't like Diablo 3's game loop, you won't like this. But it's gonna be nice because in these 4 days we're gonna get early access streams from people who are really good at the game, who can get to end game, who are then gonna have to deal with the actual drop rates, and we're gonna see exactly how well this like holds up before we have to buy it. And at least that's what I'm planning to do. I'm gonna wait till the 6th till I buy it. I'm gonna watch other people play it, just to make sure that it's actually like a good purchase. Because it's Blizzard, you know, it's Blizzard the company, and it's, I know it's difficult to sort of be like the company and like the people in the company are sort of like one and the same. But the problem is that like an institution sort of builds these like habits, these like how do I say it, idiosyncrasies inside of it that sort of bleed into everything that they do. They begin to build their own behavior, their shared code of language, basically. And so I'm still skeptical on if they can actually pull this off and actually make it good. Even though I've played both betas. Like, I played both betas. I played the endgame beta as much as I could as well. And, well, the endgame beta. It was basically the open beta of like level 40. I think that was like the last public one. And it's like, given everything else that's happening in the company and with all their other titles, I have very low hopes that this game is going to be very different. We know that they still have the same sort of institutional issues inside, not just from a social standpoint. I mean like from a straight up like game developer and like how to make money versus how to milk money versus how to actually make a good product perspective. They still have the same issues. And I have a good feeling the things that we saw in Overwatch 2, they're probably going to bleed over eventually into Diablo 4. It's bound to happen. A live service game just has to make money somehow. And, you know, Diablo 3 has somehow avoided it for years. I don't know how that game avoided it for 6 years. But again, it was also one of the best-selling games of like by a large margin. It made them a lot of money. So that's all I wanted to talk about in this pre-stream thing. I also wanted to check on my Melvar idol, but I'm still doing silver. And I have no money, so we might as well just keep doing silver. I'm kind of poor. Actually, if it's silver, we're going to do like Onyx. I don't know what Onyx is, but we're going to do Onyx. But actually, what is Onyx? Isn't Onyx like the Pokemon? What? Actually, you know what's crazy? Okay, in Pokemon, right? I've always wondered this. If you mine rocks in Pokemon, do they happen to randomly mine like an Onyx's back? That must hurt, you know? And like you wouldn't even know. The crazy part is, I'm surprised that the death count in Pokemon isn't higher. Because you could be walking around, you could step on like a piece of grass, and it's like, oh, it's actually like a Scyther or something, and it just cuts you in half. And you can't do anything to stop it either. You're just doomed. Anyways, boy, gem veins are looking at it as random while mining any ore after Dragonite. So this is random? Oh, as in if you get new gem veins. I see. This is like your introductory gem vein. Okay, well, that's it for the pre-stream. We're going straight into Zelda because we're not even close to finished yet.